Now available. Paperback and Kindle Unlimited. ISIS, the main event. It's carnage inside of a steel cage when the goddess next door steps in the squared circle with the beast from the boss in this action-packed all-new ISIS series adventure. Get ISIS, the main event, paperback and Kindle Unlimited today. Coming to paperback and e-readers, John Haynes, A Thorn in My Side. The man who rules the world takes on an agent from the CIA from the Black Boule in this action-packed all-new John Haynes series adventure. Pre-order your copy of John Haynes' A Thorn in My Side at Amazon.com and other online booksellers. Better get the coleslaw, y'all, cause we're having us a barbecue. Rapper Dank Deas recently revealed that she has an OnlyFans. Why? Just why? Now, Dank Deas is a morbidly obese black female rapper who weighs over 485 pounds, and she's infamously known for filing a lawsuit against Lyft for alleged discrimination when she made the claim that one of their drivers refused to drive her to a football party because he said that she would damage his vehicle. And ever since Dank Deas became known infamously for this lawsuit, she's been looking to try to use this lawsuit as a way to build momentum for her rap career. And as she's looked to build that momentum for her rap career, she's going out here and let people know about her other websites on social media that she uses to promote herself. And it was a revelation that she had an OnlyFans where she was charging people $25 a month to look at pictures of her body. Now, I don't know who would find Dank Deas sexy, but to each their own. Now, the timing of this revelation of Dank Deas's OnlyFans is something I call in question because it's looking to me like what Dank Deas is doing is trying to use the Lyft lawsuit as a springboard to try to jumpstart her rap career and hoping that the infamy and the press regarding the lawsuit will get people interested in looking to check out her music. What's happening here is a marketing stunt designed to go out here and look to use controversy to try to sell an entertainer. And oftentimes this is done when an entertainer's talent is somewhat questionable or there is not much known about that performer. Now, Dank Deas basically is an unknown performer who was making her music and putting it up on platforms and then looking to promote it on social media. So she really wasn't carried by a major record label, and what she now looks to do is hope to generate some heat using this infamy to propel herself to stardom. And it looks to me like she's looking to follow in the footsteps of Lizzo. Lizzo shuffled so Dank Deas could waddle. Sad. Just sad. Now, Dank Deas looks like she wants to follow in the footsteps of Lizzo, a black female entertainer who used body positivity and fat acceptance as part of her image in looking to promote herself as a musician. Now, Lizzo, for many years in the late 20-teens and early 2020s, oftentimes went out here promoting herself as an obese black woman who promoted the idea of body positivity and fat acceptance, and oftentimes got criticized and derided for making these types of statements. And as she went on looking to promote herself as this image of body positivity, yes, she did win a Grammy. Unfortunately, when she tried to enter into the world of trying to get fat acceptance by trying to get the attention of actor Chris Evans, who played Captain America, this is where Lizzo wound up hitting a wall. And after she wound up hitting that wall, this is where Lizzo basically wound up changing, because after that whole situation with Chris Evans and then getting cooked and roasted on platforms like social media for trying to promote this whole campaign of body positivity as related to entertainment, this is where the social justice campaign of Lizzo basically fell completely apart. And ever since then, Lizzo went from promoting fat acceptance to body positivity to accepting a quest to live a healthier life and began a campaign to start losing weight because she saw that things were not going in a positive fashion as related to the optics of her campaign. But with Lizzo walking away from the whole body positivity and fat acceptance agenda, we now have Dank Deas, a morbidly obese 485-pound plus black female looking to take on that mantle of looking to promote body positivity and fat acceptance. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like many people are accepting Dank Deas as related to her trying to get us to accept her as related to this whole optical image. And it's looking like she's trying to, again, continue to try to promote this campaign in the same way that Lizzo did in trying to make this whole outrageous and outlandish image of trying to show that she is trying to present herself as attractive to people on social media. And that was shown in a lot of her social media, where she has gone out here and shown off her obese body, whether it be in revealing outfits on Instagram or her spicier pictures that are supposedly on OnlyFans. And I just do not have the courage to even go to that website because what's on there, and personally, I find to be absolute garbage. And the only people who would possibly go to OnlyFans to check out Dank Deas are people who I believe would be just, again, daft as related to their whole frame of thinking, because the whole idea of looking at a morbidly obese black woman and trying to look at those kind of pictures, I don't think I would find those pictures attractive, and I wouldn't find those pictures attractive because they just, again, are not ones that I would think would promote a positive image of black women, because they would just basically be there to be fetishized images, no different than the ones of the Michelle Bartman, who was known as the Hottentot Venus. And the whole idea of the Hottentot Venus was basically an image of a black woman that was made to be something presented like a freak show, because the only reason why those men, again, wanted to have images of Sarah Bartman is because of her big butt. And again, they only wanted those to see her big butt to the point where they put her in a cage, and then when she died, they preserved her backside in some sort of liquid, and again, preserved it for all history and all infamy. Now, that was really disturbing, because it just basically showed how they just saw no humanity in Sarah Bartman, the same way that they don't really see humanity in Dank Deas. And again, outside of her being some sort of image of a freak show, this is the only reason why they are, again, looking to draw attention to her. But that's par for the course for the entertainment industry, which is just a part of the media arm of white supremacy. Now, when it comes to the entertainment industry, the media arm of white supremacy just wants to go out here and present not a balanced, humanized image of black people, but what they want to do is dehumanize the image of black people. And this is why they want to shine a spotlight on morbidly obese black women like Dank Deas and people like Dave Bluntz, who is a morbidly obese black man who raps with an oxygen tank. And the whole idea, what they want to do is, again, promote these images of black people, because like Sarah Bartman, the Hottentot Venus, this is an oddity to most of these white people in white who are part of society. And again, they love to look at an oddity, and again, look at an oddity as part of their whole thing of just looking at people who are what they consider to be odd. And again, this is something that they do not because they want to be entertained as related to seeing something that would, again, edify themselves, but what they want to do is just make a person into a laughingstock and make them the punchline of a joke. And sadly, what's happening here with Dank Demoss is she's sacrificing her intangible of character, such as her dignity, her self-respect, and her self-worth, all to get 15 minutes of fame in infamy. She's basically sacrificing these intangibles as related to this so-called rap career, and again, not really presenting us anything as related to talent as related to rap, because yes, there are rappers out here who were heavy, like the late Heavy D. Again, Heavy D was one of the most brilliant lyricists, and he was light on his feet as a dancer. He was a true talent, even though he was a heavy man. But in his later years, he did try to lose weight because he wanted to look out for his health. And Heavy D, again, when he was alive, was, again, a truly gifted rapper. And we knew him basically not because he was heavy. We knew him because he could drop heavy lyrics. And I can think of another brilliant group of rappers, the Fat Boys. Again, these were guys who, yes, they were heavy like me, but the whole thing is the Fat Boys were icons of rap music because they were master lyricists, and they oftentimes let their wordplay speak for them. Even though they were big guys and used their weight as a bit of a gimmick, they always made sure that it was about what they were saying on the mic. But when it comes to Dank Demoss, she's looking to put flash over substance, looking to put her morbidly obese body up at front. And again, that's where I've got an issue with Dank Demoss, because it's showing me that she really doesn't have much talent, because when you gotta come out here with a flashy gimmick trying to promote body positivity, it shows me that you positively don't have much skill as an entertainer, because if you gotta let the gimmick come first, it really shows that you really don't have much talent, because truly talented people, they don't mind letting you hear their lyrics or their wordplay and letting that stand out. And Dank Demoss ain't letting that come out. No, she wants us to look at stank pictures of her body. She wants us to look at these stank pictures of her body and promote that as sexy. And again, when she does that, all she's doing is making herself become yet another novelty for white supremacy as related to them being entertained, where they are laughing at her and making mockery of her. That's what they're doing with Dank Demoss. Again, not really, again, looking at her as someone who needs to be respected. And that's the great irony here. She talks about body positivity, but the whole thing is the way she's presenting herself isn't positive. And the whole thing is that as she presents herself in a way that is negative, it's not really promoting actual body positivity or fat acceptance, because what she's looking to do is get the acceptance of white supremacy. And again, when you look for the acceptance of white supremacy, you're basically, again, making yourself into the punchline of their cruel joke. And again, when it comes to black people, they love making black women into these novelties that fit into their stereotypes, and Dank Demoss is fitting perfectly into their stereotypes of the mammy, of the sapphire, and of the black Jezebel. And as she fits into all three of these categories, they are again not being entertained by her lyrical skills, but being entertained by the whole novelty of her being a freak show. Again, and that's where they again looked what they did with Lizzo. And after they got through laughing at Lizzo, what they found is they could get even more laughs at Dank Demoss. And sadly, she's thinking she's going to laugh her way all the way to the bank. But no, when it comes to these type of novelties for white supremacy, again, they basically, again, replace them all the time. Because like they do with their bootlicks, they basically break their tools. And again, this is a tool that they, again, use for a laugh here and there. And now that now she's out here, she doesn't want to hear the laughter. But I see what's happening here. And again, it's really sad because she's basically sacrificing her dignity, her self-respect, and her self-worth, all for 15 seconds of fame. 15 seconds of fame where eventually she will be washed up like a jumbo G-string on the spin cycle and basically be done. That's going to happen to Dank Deas. And what they're doing in addition to promoting this whole farce as related to fat acceptance is again making fun of black people, all while they go out here and promote unhealthy lifestyles by promoting guys like Dave Blunt's and Dank Deas, because they know that this media is very influential on black people. And again, you're promoting two very unhealthy black people who are morbidly obese. And again, these people, again, are bigger than me. And again, I'm a heavy guy, but even as a heavy guy, I have been looking out for my health. In my later years, I have changed my diet, and that's helped me to lose a lot of weight. And I wanted to lose a lot of weight because, again, I wanted to improve my health and improve things. But when I look at these people promoting these unhealthy lifestyles, you know that a lot of black women in the community are obese. And what you're doing is telling them that an unhealthy lifestyle is perfectly fine. But we see with Lizzo, she learned the hard way that while people promote this whole idea of fat acceptance, they really don't want to be a part of it, and they don't want to be a part of it because in the social marketplace you have to compete, and again, when you're heavy it becomes a lot harder to compete. And when it came down to Lizzo, she realized she couldn't get the big jobs by being big, and she wasn't really going to go that much further outside of the mammy role, so that's why she's out here looking to lose this weight. And with Dank Deas, basically, she wanted to follow in these footsteps, but I don't think she's going to get that far, whether it be because she's heavy or she finds out about the whole things in society, because nature is nature. And again, the smaller a person is, the more attractive they are. It's just that, like that. And again, when it came to Dank Deas, she came 5 years too late, because now we're out of the era of woke, where Lizzo basically could go out here and create a controversy regarding herself and get some press. But with Dank Deas, the press isn't really building that much momentum, and I don't think that there are many guys on these OnlyFans outside of these cyber simps. No, the only guys who are out there are guys out there who have a fetish for obese women, and if that guy's got a fetish for that, he's definitely one of those men in crisis, like I talk about in my book, The Man Crisis, and definitely one of those, because when it comes to those kind of guys, if they're looking at that type of woman, they're not looking at her as a person, they're looking at her as an object and a fantasy. But when it comes down to the entertainment industry, they don't see Dank Deas as somebody they see as somebody they're taking seriously. No, she's good for a news cycle, she's good for a couple of stories, and once they are about done, and once the lawsuit basically winds up getting dismissed or she gets a settlement, that'll be the last time we hear from Dank Deas. Because if Dank Deas had a dearth of talent, she would be out here cutting records and getting promotion for those records, not participating in a mid-stunt like this, trying to build momentum off a civil lawsuit. Because again, if you've got talent, your talent will be known. But with Dank Deas, she's basically got no talent, and that's why she's got to go out here showing that 200-inch rear end and looking to be the Hottentot Venus, a Hottentot Venus for the 21st century, and a 21st century Hottentot Venus that basically is not a Venus de Milo to most people. Now, this was a video requested by one of my viewers, and if you want to request a video, you can drop a donation for a minimum of $15 to the PayPal or the Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. And if I know something about that subject, I will make that video for you. Now, if you want to check out some of my positive black fiction, which features positive images of black women, you can find those books on Amazon.com, such as the Isa series, the Steam series, the John Haynes series, the books of the Spinsterella trilogy, my vampire novel, Eternal Night. All of those books feature positive images of attractive, beautiful black women and look to elevate the black woman's image, and are not meant to exploit the black woman the way the mainstream media does with black women like Lizzo and Dank Deas. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Support black-owned and black-operated digital broadcast media. www.niceradionetwork.com. Nice Radio Network, broadcasting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.